Hello friends, I am back with a second Travelous notebook share. I told you I was just about finished my second one and I have since done so. If you haven't seen the first one that I'm talking about, I will leave the link for you up here. This is the second of my kind of wintry, autumnal Travelous notebooks that I've been working on the last couple of months. Again, I made this one myself. I will leave a link in the description if you want to check out the tutorials, the various tutorials I have for doing that yourself. I love making my own. And again, this notebook itself has some pocket pages in it. I did less in this notebook than I did in the first one, and the tutorial for that is over on my Patreon. So again, I've got this very pretty gradient. I actually think I started working on this notebook upside down because I really wish that this was the front cover, but this is what I've got. I think I did it so that it matched the other one. The other one's more blues as well, but I'm over blue now. I'm ready for kind of rainbow in my life, so I think that will be the next notebook that I put together. This page here I did on a recent live stream actually with my patrons, trying to use up some of my Pink Fresh stash. And I mean, honestly, doing a couple of notebook spreads like this is not going to go very far into getting rid of that stash. I have a lot of older collections to use up. This one I ended up using very little of, but I loved the colors. It was so pretty. I can't remember the name of the collection. I got it through one of the Create and Connect classes, last year's one, and this was the first time that I've used it, but there were no papers included with that collection. So I kind of had to make my own pattern paper, and I did so with a Pink Fresh Studio stamp over on this page. I don't know why, but like I've only just recently got myself a stamp press, and holy moly, I can't underestimate like how much it made a difference to my stamping life. And so I had fun putting together this kind of pattern with one of the largest stamps from Pink Fresh. I was looking, just had a quick flick through this before I turned the camera on, and like variations of snug and snuggle are titles that you're going to see a lot in here. I need to find some sort of solution because I am just the worst at titles. I find making titles for pages so difficult, and it's generally the last thing I do on a page, and so then I end up with very similar titles like this. This was a very simple little page I put together for my beautiful little Pearly here. Quite a cat orientated notebook this one was as well. I guess just, you know, it's winter here. We're all snuggling up, cats included. I kept it very pink and very pretty. Like, it's super simple. Like, it's just a bunch of border strips to create this really lacy, ruffly edge. And then really the photos take the main kind of precedence in there. And you can see I do make an effort sometimes to put as much journaling on there as I can. Sometimes more than others. Sometimes a story needs a bit more journaling. One of the things that I'm kind of taking away from my switch up of Project Life this year, I'm working in a 6x8 album and more just telling stories rather than documenting weekly. And so I do tend to put more thought into the words that I'm adding with those stories. And some of that rubs off in my notebooks as well. This was a fun little stamp technique that I did in June. I kind of focused on stamps over on Patreon. I love me a repeat stamp pattern. It's kind of go in phases when I've done it and when I haven't. This time I decided to try and work it into a photo. I had the perfect photo for it, so I used a little bit of vellum to mask out our faces and then repeat stamped into the background. Here is one of the pocket pages in this notebook. I used some, I can't remember the name of the paste, but this beautiful highlighter yellow one and a stencil just to create, again, a little bit of interest. One thing I did note though is that once it dried, these little bows kind of peeled off. especially as you were turning the page, as the page bent, they kind of peeled off, which, you know, could be an advantage if you're trying to make your own confetti. I wasn't though, I was trying to keep them on the page. So I glued the ones that fell off back on, and then I actually covered one side of this pocket, which isn't a pocket, I should mention. This is just one sheet of the pocket. I actually cut the other side of the pocket off, so I just had this kind of clear insert in here. And to stop the issue of these things popping off, I just laid down some packing tape over the top. I've got 3 strips in here. I wasn't sure how that was going to look, but actually it looks fine and it works perfectly. So that was a really handy kind of thing to play around with and learn, which is one of the things I love these notebooks for. So the rest is very simple, lots of stamps, lots of citrus twist ephemera, and a very simple photo. This is a page I put together for the Studio Calico Summer of Sketches class. I'm pretty sure my lesson went live last week, so this is the result of that. And then the other half of that pocket page is here. I really love how this turned out. I have this gorgeous photo of Pearl playing with bubbles. She absolutely loves bubbles, and I really wanted to replicate that in my pocket. So I punched out a bunch of circles out of vellum. I have adhered them together, so again, nothing's falling, nothing's like moving around in the pocket. I did sort of smudge the edges of the bubbles with a bunch of different colors, and then I captured everything in here with a row of stitching. But I love how that one turned out. I also love, again, my love with the stamp press knows no bounds, to be able to create this multicolored title. So pretty. I only used 3 ink colors, pink, yellow, and blue, and I got a whole bunch of variety in there, which I just adore. This was another one of the pages I did during my live stream, again just trying to bust some of that pink fresh stash. This time I used a sketch as well from my sketch vault, and just added all the colors. It was a bit weird. I documented a photo of our live stream at another live stream. It was very, very fun. I love sharing these photos with my Patreon friends. This was again part of stamp month. I ended up buying a few new stamps. I had a little bit of a self-care day. They are highly important for our mental health. I bought myself flowers because why not? And then I realized I didn't have a single stamp that was this type of flower, which turns out to be a chrysanthemum. I didn't know that at the time. This is not a chrysanthemum stamp. It is an aster stamp that came with a little matching die. So I made a few little embellishments myself. It's close enough. I really love how that page turned out. And that's the last one in the notebook. So again, a little short and sweet kind of flip through here. I hope you enjoyed seeing these layouts. I kind of love going through them with you, reliving the memories of the last few months. I hope you enjoyed the video, my friends, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!